Adding voice to Microsoft Teams is really easy with 8x8 voice from Microsoft Teams. Brookside Consulting helps you find the best path to cloud, voice, video, contact center, and provides always on internet solutions from 170 plus providers. So what we see in the market today is 144 million people currently today are using Microsoft Teams. And it's unique. What most offices are doing today is they're using a legacy phone system to be able to make and receive calls that are external, outside the system. NEC, Cisco, they've got ShoreTel, Mitel. Everybody still has a phone on their desk. And some people even move to the cloud and they still have phones on their desk, whether it be a Poly, a Yealink, or a Cisco SIP phone. So that's what's used for external voice calls only. Now, when we talk about internal voice calls, video meetings, chat, task management, everything, file storage is all used by Teams. You got Presence, IM, everybody communicates, use it. It's a great internal tool. Why not add voice to it? Why do you want to have two solutions to manage versus one? It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, like I said, in today's environment, you've got some kind of desk phone that's making external calls and everything else is going internal. One of the biggest problems is whenever you do have a video call in Teams and you do need to get somebody outside of your Microsoft Teams network of users, you can't do it. You have to go to a third party. So basically what we'd like to show you is a way using Microsoft Teams direct routing to provide one app for everything. And that's Teams, internal and external call. You port your number over, your current business number over into this solution so you can make and receive calls, right from the calls button within Teams on any device. There's a single login. So there's really no change to Teams user experience. They don't even know they're using 8x8. So why have users log into two solutions and be able to communicate, collaborate, one for internal, one for external, when you don't have to? I mean, this creates a problem where they've got two voice mailboxes. They got one for Teams, one for your phone system they have to check. And everything has to be managed by IT. And we're trying to basically reduce the amount of IT when we start talking about voice. So it's time to get rid of your phone system, hardware, whatever you're using, and move voice to Teams and use it as your phone system, more or less. Okay, it's easy to set up, implement, manage, and use. There's no user training required, really, because there's just no change to the Teams user experience. It works great. Adds inbound and outbound calling so they can make and receive calls right within the Teams app using their business number. So that allows you, once again, to use one app that uses your business number for voice, chat, video, screen sharing, task management, and file sharing. So at the end of the day, it's called 8x8. And basically what we do is, we can add omni-channel contact center, AI, speech analytics. We can integrate to your CRM, whether it's Salesforce, whether we're doing some native integration to Teams, Oracle, NetSuite, Zendesk. A lot of people moving towards HubSpot, Zoom. I mean, it basically connects with clicks, not code. So it's ready to go for all these things. So when you start looking at your solution, this is what it looks like on a more of a global basis, where you see your Teams, you see 8x8, you see it all bringing one app to the desktop. So at the end of the day, it's Microsoft 8x8 voice for Microsoft Teams integrations, enterprise-grade telephony, and global PSTN connectivity for customers that want to use Microsoft Teams as their sole collaboration interface. So as I said, technically all that really happens to the end user is we activate this calls option on the toolbar. One of the other big changes that you can see is there's an 8x8 toolbar on here. So when I go to the 8x8 toolbar, it gives me activity, my latest activity, a dashboard, help, a little bit more. And then now I can see all my voicemails. Okay, here's all the voicemails. These are all in 8x8. They're not in Teams, right? Here's your SMS. So all your texting goes in and out. Basically, like I said, within the Teams app. Once again, I'm in Teams now. I'm not in 8x8. Then also there's a fax number. So any faxes you have. So each user can have fax, SMS, voicemail, all these things, and be able to have them make and receive calls, faxes, and things using your business numbers, okay? Because you're within the business app. I mean, you're not using your personal numbers or so you can use this on your cell phone or whatever you've got going on, as far as any device. You also have access to all your settings within 8x8, so you don't really have to log into another app to be able to make changes to things like your voicemail, changing passwords, internal versus external caller ID, call forwarding rules, which is helpful, music on hold options, call recording options, just everything, fax, notifications, how you want to be attended. All these are within, once again, as I said, the Microsoft Teams app, which is crazy. So again, let's remember, Microsoft Teams works on all devices. There's a single sign-on, you can use hardware or software phones, like any device, anywhere, desktop, notebook, tablet, it doesn't matter, mobile. One app for everything, right? So when you start talking about hardware phones, it works with really everybody's SIP phones. You can add Poly, Cisco, Yealink, Grandstream, cordless phones. All these phones I've used and worked well. You also can move to more of an omni-channel contact center solution where you let the customers choose the media that they want, so that they can contact you through obviously voice, through social media options, chat, through your website, email, various ways. All of it's tracked just like voice. So you've got the ability to see what's going on. You also, like I said before, have integration where we basically put soft phones right into these apps, these business apps, including Oracle NetSuite, Salesforce, HubSpot, all these services now, they all have real tight integrations into the 8x8 platform. So installation, once again, is very simple, can be done in minutes, not hours. Basically, Teams just syncs their data with 8x8 in real time. Using Active Directory, so that you download a user template into the 8x8, it automatically using Active Directory integrates into Teams, and you're up and ready to go. So once both 8x8 and Microsoft Teams have the right permissions, setting up Teams within 8x8 is easy as 1, 2, 3. So there's your admin console, your users, and then basically you flip a switch and you enable Microsoft Teams integration. So when you add users in the future, it's already set up. These two are syncing. Everything is so easy. Now, the only problem is what happens when Microsoft Teams goes down. So it happens, okay? It's going to happen. It's happened before. It's going to, and at the end of the day, if it's a long-term outage, when you start looking at just the last 12 months, for example, you look at Mitel and 8x8, RingCentral, you see how many outages they've had, then you start looking at Zoom and Microsoft Teams, you start saying, okay, well, there's 148 reported outages in 1 month with Microsoft Teams. I don't know all the details, but I do know one thing's for sure, that you can use 8x8 Work, which is a free mobile, actually UC app that comes with the system, with every user on 8x8. So you can use this. You can use this as a backup in the event that Teams goes down. So 8x8 Work, basically the way it works as an app is it comes up separately, and you've got, profile menu, you've got search, look for users, you've got your calls, you've got your contacts here. There's your contacts. You've got, any of your chats that you've done, once again, are in here. Your video meetings are all in here. Basically you got faxing in here. Like you said, this looks a lot like what we were going to be looking at, within the Teams app. But for the most part, what happens, if you want to go up here to video and you want to start a meeting, then this is what you would do. You click start meeting. It's real simple to use. It's got a built-in soft phone and everything. So it automatically have the same number. Look, there I am. Right. So what you've got here is you've got the ability to mute and unmute your video down here. You've got share your screen, open and close the chat, raise your hand, things like that. Participants, obviously toggle the tile view, and there's just more things. It's very easy to program and set up and use, add users and things of that nature. So, at the end of the day, that's, very good backup to use for Microsoft Teams in the event something were to happen and you were going to be down for an extended period of time. So when you get done, you see you got your current status, maker receipt, all these things, like I said, and if you think about it, it looks a lot like Teams. The users are going to see the same type of issues and things of that nature. So, and then within the 8x8 file, they're going to be able to see, all the different things that they're able to do with the system. Now, so what does it cost? That's a big deal. So at the end of the day, one of the things that we've got to make sure that we have is this Microsoft phone license here. If you don't have an E5, the phone license runs usually around $8 a user, and that just allows us to be able to have the phone on the desk, be able to talk to Teams, do some integration between the two. All that we need to have is any of the licenses from 8x8, starting from around $24 going to $170. This is all, depends on which one you use, from the basic, they all integrate with Teams. But, kind of as it moves up from there, there's CRM integration, with an X4. You're starting the call center stuff with X6. And when you get to X8, you've got everything from, speech analytics to predictive dialing to, quality management and obviously omni-channel with voice, email, web chat, and social media all integrated. And these are not the prices you pay. This is the list price on what these solutions be. So, we put together pricing. We put together the best possible deal for you. So what happens is 8x8 Voice Microsoft Teams highlights. It's got UCaaS, a phone system in the cloud, and contact center as a service in the cloud, both in the same solution. Single point of contact on everything from service and support, which is 8x8, latest and greatest cloud technology that's always up to date. There's zero hardware or phone company lines on site. Microsoft Teams integration allows you to manage your 8x8 settings, everything within 8x8 within a Teams window. There's, like I said, screen pops from 35 plus CRMs, including Salesforce, NetSuite, all the big ones. Omnichannel contact center is going to give you, if you need it, the ability to integrate email, web chat through your website, SMS texting, social media integration and everything, as well as callback and queue, web chat from the website, outbound calling, extensive reports on and analytics on everything, so that you see analytics on every customer employee interaction. Uses software phones or hardware phones. And 8x8 Work comes as a backup solution that will help you make sure that you always have your users working and being productive. So, you can learn more about 8x8 Voice for Microsoft Teams at our website at www.brookesideus.com. There's actually a tab there called Microsoft Teams and Voice. So it's really something that we specialize in. We're cloud communications, UCaaS, CCaaS, SD-WAN, all cloud-based communications. Brookside Consulting, www.brooksideus.com.